Hey there, all you electric vehicle enthusiasts, welcome back to EV Equity Edge, your go-to channel for all things electric and green. Today we'll be diving deep into the world of Rivian Automotive, a top player in the EV market that's been getting a lot of buzz lately. We've got an action-packed session today as we go over Rivian's recent performance, digest the latest news, and forecast what could be on the horizon for this exciting stock. So buckle up, it's time to get charged. Starting the trading day at $24.76, beneath the previous close of $25.51, the bearish undertones were evident. Nevertheless, Rivian stock managed to rally against the initial downdraft and inched closer to recoup some of its losses, finishing the day at $24.85. However, the closing price doesn't paint the full picture of the intraday activity. Rivian stock went on quite the journey, reaching a daily high of $25.74, showcasing moments of bullish confidence. But the bears weren't silent, as the stock plummeted at its lowest to $24.31, marking the day's low. This tug-of-war between bullish and bearish sentiments resulted in a range of 5.59%, indicating a day filled with robust market activity. Speaking of activity, Rivian's trading volume for the day was particularly striking. Clocking in at 93.33 million shares, the daily volume was more than double its average of 36.63 million. This surge in trading volume often implies a heightened level of investor interest, or potentially the culmination of specific news or events. High volume during a down day could suggest an aggressive selling off, but considering the stock managed to rebound from the day's low, it also indicates a possible accumulation of shares by investors seeing potential value in Rivian. Yesterday's support level of $24.31 emerged as the hero of the day. The stock price dipped to this exact level, suggesting an impressive accuracy of this support line. It illustrates the power of support levels; they act as a safety net, preventing the stock from further downward spiral. The moment Rivian's stock price touched this level, a buying spree seemed to be triggered, revealing confidence in the stock's worth and halting its descent. Contrarily, the resistance at $26.02 proved to be a formidable barrier that Rivian couldn't surpass. This illustrates the existence of a substantial group of sellers at this price point, restraining any upward progression. While the closing change of -2.59% tilts towards a bearish conclusion, it's vital to remember that the stock market is a landscape of continuous fluctuation. Single-day performances might not be the ultimate yardstick for future movements or a stock's inherent value. Wow, what a ride Rivian's been on! You've probably seen the headlines: up 70%, is it time to sell Rivian stock? And Rivian coasts sideways following parabolic rise, the bull, bear case for the stock. So what's all the fuss about? Well, remember those Q2 delivery numbers Rivian dropped in July? Those were a pretty big deal, and they kicked off a serious growth spurt for Rivian stock. I mean, we're talking an 86% surge here. It's no wonder Rivian got a bit overbought, with the Relative Strength Index, RSI, hitting a lofty 86% on Monday. That's usually a sign that the stock could be due for a breather, maybe even a slight downward correction. Right now, Rivian is taking a bit of a breather, trading within Monday's range. The trading volume is a bit on the lighter side compared to the recent average, which might help cool things down a bit. It's like Rivian stock is catching its breath after a sprint. On top of that, Rivian managed to regain the 20-day simple moving average, SMA, as support, which has put Rivian in a bull cycle. If it continues to trade above this level for a while, we might see the 50-day SMA cross above the 200-day. And you know what that means? Bullish traders might get a confidence boost for the longer term. Now, if we take a look at the bear side, they're probably hoping for a surge of bearish volume following this consolidation phase. If that happens, we might see Rivian stock price trending towards the 200-day SMA. A drop below that level could hint at a longer-term downtrend and prove the recent price action was just a bull trap. What about the investor interest, you ask? Well, according to Zacks, Rivian has been pretty popular lately. Their analysts have been keeping an eye on the stock, and their consensus earnings estimate shows Rivian is expected to post a loss for the current quarter, but at an improved rate from last year. Despite this, Rivian holds a Zacks rank number 2, buy, indicating optimism about its near-term performance. So, is Rivian a stock to watch? Well, with its recent stellar performance, increased investor interest, and some fascinating market dynamics at play, it sure seems like it's worth keeping an eye on. But as always, in the unpredictable world of stocks, it's all about watching the trends, understanding the market sentiment, and making informed decisions. Now, let's take a step back and look at the big picture, the resistance and support levels for Rivian stock price. Let's think of resistance and support levels like invisible floors and ceilings that the stock price tends to bounce off. They're like boundaries in a game. The price usually struggles to break through, but occasionally, it can leap over or drop below these levels, and that's when things get interesting. For Rivian, we're currently eyeing a few key resistance levels on the higher end: $26.89, $28.26, and $29.92. These are the levels that the stock price has previously struggled to break through. Each time it hits these points, it tends to bounce back, which makes these critical levels to watch. If Rivian manages to break through any of these resistance points, it could signal a bullish trend, and we might see the stock price continue to climb. On the flip side, we've got support levels at $23.86, $22.20, and $20.83. Think of these as safety nets. When the stock price dips, these are the levels where it might bounce back. If the price drops below these levels, it could suggest a bearish trend, and we might see the stock price continue to fall. So, where does Rivian's stock currently sit in this game of floors and ceilings? Well, with the recent performance, it's been bouncing around and testing these levels. With the bullish volume we've seen, breaking through the resistance levels isn't out of the question, but we'll need to see continued strong momentum to push through these barriers. And on the downside, those support levels provide a bit of a safety net, but if bearish volume picks up, these levels will be tested. If the price were to fall below these support levels, it could indicate a shift in investor sentiment and a potential downward trend. So, as Rivian continues on this financial journey, keep these resistance and support levels in mind. They're key markers in the landscape, and watching how the stock price interacts with these levels will provide valuable insights into where it might be headed next. In the next section, we'll delve into Rivian's current valuation and what this could mean for its future stock price. Alright folks, we've analyzed Rivian's recent stock performance, delved into earnings projections and growth forecasts, and broken down some key resistance and support levels to keep an eye on. It's been quite a journey, and I hope this analysis will be a useful tool in your investment toolkit. Remember, investing is more of a marathon than a sprint, and understanding these market trends and financial intricacies is like having a roadmap. So, whether you're an existing shareholder in Rivian or thinking about buying in, stay informed and strategic. That's all we have for today on Rivian Automotive, but don't go just yet. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and hit that subscribe button. Your support really does make a difference and allows us to continue providing this type of content. While you're here, be sure to check out our other stock analysis videos. We've got in-depth coverage on stocks like Lucid, NIO, Tesla, and Mullen, all big players in the EV space. Stay tuned for our next analysis where we'll delve deeper into market trends, stock picks, and investment strategies. Until then, keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel of your investment journey. Happy investing!